What is up, YouTube family? This is going to be a video that basically goes in depth about how to run ads as a service provider and why to run ads as a service provider. This is more or less just a basic kind of this is how to do it, this is why to do it video. This isn't going to be super technical or in depth by any means, and I'm going to start making more technical in depth videos, but this is going to have a little bit of good nuggets of information. So if you're a service provider, you're trying to run your first batch of ads, this is gonna have a lot of good information for you to get the best return on that ad spend. Okay, so as service providers, hopefully I'm not in the way. I think I'm like right here. I don't know. So why do we run ads as service providers? These are 7 kind of core reasons, and these are obvious and easy, but I would like to just give context before I get into the more technical stuff of why to run ads. So as a service provider, you're trying to build familiarity, and what that means is so Facebook and Google ads, not so much as Google, but Facebook ads, you're building familiarity by just having multiple ads going across someone's screen, especially when you're in a local service area. So, say you're in Indiana and you're an Indianapolis contractor that does roofs. So, you have yard signs out everywhere, you've got roofs you've done, and you're getting good referrals and word of mouth from that. Once you also get some Facebook ads going and you're constantly getting scrolled past, people in your area are going to be familiar with you. So that's huge because say say someone has seen your Facebook ad 10 times and they're actually familiar with your face and your logo and brand, and then their roof leaks. They're going to search up roofer near me, and then they see your logo pop up and your website pop up, then they're going to be like, oh, I've seen his Facebook ads before. I've seen some of his content, some of his client testimonials. I think I'm going to buy from him. So familiarity and to build trust is kind of in the same kind of category, but this isn't talked about a lot. Is that Facebook ads build familiarity and trust at the same time while also building brand authority. So Facebook ads are super crucial for that to build trust, obviously, and then you can also show more people our service. So the amount of ad spend that you put out and the amount of creative you put out will show it to more people. But when you're in a local service and your area is confined, then we can show a lot of people our service and offer with a low amount of spend. So that is the super cool thing about meta ads is that you can show a huge amount of people your service without spending a huge amount of money. Now, another huge thing is reducing dependency on lead providers. So as a home service provider or a contractor, it's a huge thing in the industry to use Angie's leads and these big lead providers that sell you a batch of leads for, I don't know, it's a super expensive price for what you're getting because a lot of these people, they're literally just selling you the information and then they sell it to 5 different contractors or service providers. So you're calling these people and they've been called 3 other times, and at this point they're like, I don't even care anymore. I don't even want the service from you guys. And a lot of the times I see 5 to 15% conversions on these. So they're not terrible, but I see these as an extra, not a foundation. You want to have your actual marketing foundation in place before you actually start just going for these extra leads, is what I call them. So get your actual marketing foundation in place first, get that set, get that good, and then chase these leads because that's when you can get some extra money on hand. Now, you also want to fight against seasonality as a service provider because you're a landscaper, you're a roofer, you can't go out there when it's freezing cold. Then you want to make the most out of the season. And how do we do that? We run ads to get as much people and much eyeballs onto our service as possible. Now, you also want to grow beyond your current capacity and current constraints. So, how do we do that? We need more leads and more customers. So we run ads to get more leads and more customers. Pretty self-explanatory. Most of this stuff is self-explanatory. I just wanted to go in depth on it just to give context to the extra stuff. And obviously we want to keep crews busy. We want to keep our crews happy so they stay with us for longer periods of times and they stay loyal. We want their families to eat just as much as we want to eat. So, okay, that's why we run ads. Now, how do we run ads and what type of ads do we run? Now, this is going to get a little bit more technical. I'm sure a lot of the people watching this already know some of this stuff, but for the people that don't know this stuff, I'd like to give them context because this would really help them out, I'm guessing. So we run ads with top of funnel content, middle of funnel content, and bottom of funnel content. Now, if you're like, what the hell does that mean? I got you. I'm going to explain it. So when running top of funnel, middle of funnel, and bottom of funnel content, all that means is basically this is where your market is. So this triangle represents your market in your area. And these are just the awareness levels of the percentages of your market. So 70% of your market is in this top portion of the funnel. They're problem aware, or maybe they're not even aware at all. Our whole goal with running ads is taking these people, getting them in the funnel, and then pushing them down the funnel. So we want to take this part of the market, put it in here, and then push it down the funnel until they get all the way down here and they buy. Wow, that's terrible. Oh my gosh. But that's the whole point. Let's get all this crap off the screen. So how do we do that though? Okay, so we get them into the funnel by running top of funnel content, and then we nurture them in the middle of the funnel, and then we give them calls to actions in the bottom of the funnel so they buy from us. Hopefully that all makes sense. Now, hopefully I think I'm like right here. What type of ads do we run for these contents? So top of funnel. This can be what you do and where you do it. So for example, I'm a standing seam metal roofing expert in Indiana. We do contract work, so we put the roofs on and we also sell the metal. So that's a good ad for top of funnel. That explains where you are, what you do, and yeah, so the whole point of top of funnel is just to get people to be like, oh, they're in my service area and they do what I need. And then you can also do basic picture ads, logos, trucks, etc., finished product videos. There's way more to this. This is just basic content, so you have an understanding of how to do this. Now, middle of funnel content can be before and after videos and pictures with some, if you're doing pictures, have good captions and good copywriting to explain to people your offer more in depth, but just make sure the content looks nice. And if you're doing videos, explain the problem in the before and then the solution in the after. You can have more educational, value-driven content in the middle of funnel to kind of educate people on what's wrong and why it's wrong. So for example, you're a roofer. Okay, again, with a roofer. We work with a lot of roofers, so sorry. But fixing a leak now instead of later is going to be way less expensive for you, because the longer the wait on the leak, the more damage you're going to get without even knowing it. So that's like a middle of funnel. That's like a middle of funnel example for a roofer. And then obviously client testimonials are huge. So if you can actually go out and get a video client testimonial of you interviewing the client, and they're like, yeah, this service was awesome. They did a great job. My roof looks awesome. These guys are great. If you can get a video interview client testimonial, what more can you do to convince somebody to buy from you? Because a standing 5-star review is awesome, but a video testimonial is like, I mean, there's no way to fake that, is what I'm saying. So those are huge. Those are super crucial. And those are also good bottom of funnel content. They're over here, customer testimonial. But you want to add call to actions in all of your bottom of funnel content, which means CTAs, CTAs, CTAs. Because the bottom of funnel people are usually ready to buy. They just need a little push, a little shove. And that's also why offer CTAs and discount CTAs are awesome for bottom of funnel. And before and after videos with CTAs are great down here too, because usually the bottom of funnel percent of the market, they're ready to buy. They just need to know why they can buy from you. So why are you their solution? And you can do that a number of ways, but that is basically how to run ads for service companies. There's a lot more in depth to this, but this is, like I said, this is just a basic how-to video for people that might just be getting started running ads for their service. This is a good step in the right direction, is what I'm saying. That was basic strategy of how to set up your advertising funnel and your advertising campaign on Facebook and Instagram. And if you want someone to hold your hand through this process, our team handles full in marketing and advertising for home service providers and contractors. So if that's something you want, you don't care to actually do this yourself, you think it's going to take too much time and too much energy, we do all of this done for you, and we also educate you on why we do this and how we do this, so you can also take it over in the long term. So yeah, if that's something that you're interested in, there should be a link in the bottom of this YouTube video. There's a quick little video you watch that explains how we do what we do, and then you can book a call with me or my team and we'll get you set up. Like and subscribe, y'all.